draft. Let's start a new draft, guys. More draft. Draft easy. Yeah. Let's go new draft. Okay, let's get in here. We're gonna start off a new draft here. So, let's go over the basics of draft, because these decisions are gonna matter. Very good candidates here are Ironfrog Goldmine, Agility Vandal, Ogre Conscript, and Thunderstorm. Those are gonna be like the 4 best cards here. Clearly the deck is okay. And in the first packs, you kind of want to pick for value. Black is a very reliable color to go, as is red. Blue is a little less reliable, which isn't to say it's bad, but it's like less reliable that you'll end up going it. I think I like opener with Iron Fog and Ogre Conscripts. I value this a bit better than a Gloaty Vandal, and I like opening with just like high value cards without committing to a color yet. So we'll open with that pack. Bunch of ass cards here. Blade of the Vigil is not bad, neither is Intimidation. Is that just what we're doing here? Yep. I guess that's it. Could also go Keen Folk over Intimidation. The odds of us going green are still fairly high. Keen Folk is not necessarily that good, though. Intimidation is something I'm probably going to be able to find later, and you never really need more than a 1 of, so we can just take the Keen Folk Musket here, kind of free up our item slots for later. But we're getting some pretty bad packs. Stonehall Defend the Weak is fine. The rest of these cards basically... Burning Oil... Burning Oil might be there. I do want to take the Stonehall Cloak. We're more likely to go red than green at this point. I haven't been the biggest fan of Burning Oil in the past, though. It's not a bad card. It hits very good value sometimes. I think Defend the Weak is like a very slightly higher tier of card. And I kind of want to leave my colors like a little more flexible at this point. It's very close between these two, though. Of course, we got Apo Blade, which is trolly. We're pretty much not running any of these in our deck. Sucker Punch is not something we're going to run unless we have like 3 red heroes, but there's a chance that ends up happening, and we're going to be randoming our hero here. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll a hero. Let's see what we get. Rix. So Rix is a non-hero. Rix is basically worse than Farvran. Rix has to be worse than Farvran, right? So basically, we don't have a hero in that slot. However, we do have a good pack here. Hipfire, Gank, Rebel Decoy, Vermusk, and Thunderhide are all great. Arm is okay. We're not going to go with Arm here, though. Gank is a card that's much better in Constructed. Can you hear that? What's happening over there? Gank is a card that's much better in Constructed. It kind of sucks unless you have, like, beefy heroes, and Black might be a splash at this point, so I even value something like Hipfire over Gank here. We're not picking OD. Thunderhide seems like a fairly decent first pick, although we're kind of more likely black than green if we go Hipfire. Thunderhide's a good first pick. I don't even mind just Musk Blessing on top of that. These are probably both a little bit better than Hipfire. I'm fine just picking both of these. That looks good. Selamene's favorite, since we already have Thunderhide, is not bad. This is a card that easily might find a place into our deck. Cover of Night and Untested Grunt are not the worst things ever. I hate Cover of Night. It's playable, but I do hate it. Defensive Bloom is pretty bad.
A really sad, half-eaten burrito on the table here.
Sad, happy burrito? What?
That is
Dude, it's hard to eat and stream at the same time.
You put like literally everything in it?
I didn't put anything in there. The people that I ordered from did.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wait, what are you're drafting again?
Yeah.
You've abandoned?
No, I lost this. I lost. You were there when I lost.
Oh, you lost twice?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw you lose once. I think.
So the second card here, these are pretty weak. Right now we're not like 100% locked into black. The second pick is gonna lock us into black, I think. And I don't mind like going tricolor.
See, I think they fixed the algorithm. The last pick is now terrible again.
So the question is it Grunt or Cover of Night? I think Grunt's outvalues Cover of Night by a little bit. This card is not. It definitely is playable. It's like right under Grunt, I would say. depends on the deck. At this point, we're going tricolor. I think one of the differentiating factors between like good players and bad players, or between good players and mediocre players, is good players go tricolor more often in draft. SUNSFAN, how often do you go tricolor?
Not very often. I don't like it.
Okay.
If I have to, I'll do it.
Because you
It
see.
depends on the quality of cards, though.
Yeah.
If I have a Mist of Avernus, then yeah, I'm gonna play one terrible green hero just so I can cast that one spell. That's his entire purpose the whole game. You know?
I think basically, like, rule of thumb, the better player you are, the more you'll go tricolor. Like, hyped, for example, goes tricolor like 75% of the time, right? Like, I go tricolor more often than not. It's hard to put it down to a percentage.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, because obviously I'm the novice in this genre, but depends on quality of cards.
Oh, for sure.
Like if I can have a decent deck with dual color,
Yeah.
I'll have that over even slightly better, but tricolor because it's more consistent.
Yeah.
And I feel more comfortable doing it.
So the tricky thing is here, whether we pick up the Mazzy or not. That's the biggest question. We're not even necessarily going red. All we have is one Ogre Conscript. Red is a safe color to dip into. It's early enough that it's okay to go Mazzy.
You know, Mazzy actually has a good win percentage in draft.
Mazzy's not bad.
I have the stats to back that up.
He's a good card. The safe thing to do is to take the Mazzy here, but we easily might regret this. Sorla. Okay, we regret it.
Eh,
I mean, Sorla's not like the best thing ever, but she's pretty good.
depends what we get, I guess.
We can just take the Mist Maul. Doesn't really matter what else we choose. We're not adding any of these cards into our deck. Jeez.
Oh, God. Don't do it. This deck's not looking great.
Yeah, this draft has not been very kind to us. I think it's still like, it's okay. It's turning out kind of average. We got the Bracers of Sacrifice if you want it. I think we are likely going to go one black. We don't have like the card quality to afford not to go tricolor in this case. So Slay feels like the first pick here. Second favor is probably not great. I mean, we do have the Ogre, but I just don't feel like there's enough incentivized to curve for ramp here. Honestly, Legion Standard Bearer is not the worst thing ever. This card is kind of acceptable. We could also take the Assassin's Apprentice as well. At this point, it seems likely we're splashing black and red. One of them is probably going to be a 2 of, but we don't know yet at which point which that will be. Bracers of Sacrifice is also not bad. This card is like low-key decent.
Really?
Yeah, it's very underrated. I'm more of a fan of Standard Bearer than Assassin's Apprentice, I think. I don't really value as much the turn 1 play. This is a better pack. At this point, we're a lot less likely to go into blue. So we can kind of commit to something like a Gloaty Vandal plus Standard Bearer. If we want to go for the Payday, we can. Payday is not bad. Without something like Bounty Hunter, it's a little like less reliable. Nothing is wrong with these like 4-drops though. Kind of like a Payday Vandal here. Blade of the Vigil is also fairly good. We already have one though. Sister Vandal is good. Divine Intervention is probably the best card in this pack. We're locked into black. So at this point, we're just tricoloring and ignoring blue. These red cards suck, so now it's between a Gloaty Vandal and Sister of the Veil. Gloaty is just a better card.
Oh, yeah.
That's an easy Disciple. Tyler. Dude, how did these two cards make it to the end of this pack? How is that possible?
Algorithm.
Is it just... It's not Algo. It's not. We're drafting against other players.
You don't know if that's live yet, though.
I know for a fact it's live because I saw them on the stream see a pack that I passed to them. Yes. There's no algo here. Like, so it starts with what, 12? So literally 3 different people passed up both of these cards.
Must have been a good pack.
Must have been a good pack.
I mean, when you can't pass up 5 times a triumph, right?
Yeah, exactly. 5 times the triumph. So there's kind of a consideration for Defend and the Magicking Maul. These two are just better cards, especially since we already have one Defend the Week. Defend is fine. I'm happy with that. These cards. These two items are basically just... There's never any reason to actually play them. Crystal Maiden. So this is bad.
A lot of basic heroes on the way.
So, yeah, we're going to have to run some basics here. This is pretty bad. Bronze and Magnus is just a good bailout here. Magnus is quite playable.
You sure you don't want to...
I mean, you could go risky and decline the Magnus.
Pack 4 and 5, you're more likely to get a better hero later on.
Yeah.
Do you like Magnus? I don't really like him very much.
He's a lot better than Farfran.
He's just a card. That's all he is.
Yeah, pretty much. He's above average. He's okay, but he's not best 5. I would say he's like the 6th or so best green hero. I mean, he's up there. He's just not great. Let's go ahead and take... Artillery's playable, Blade of the Vigil is playable. The rest of these kind of suck, I guess. Yikes. I don't really mind 2 blades. We could also run one of these red cards like Spot Weakness or Cursed Satyr. These also kind of suck. Pick a Fight is actually kind of decent with Mazzy as well, just because she has the armor. I don't really mind the Pick a Fight here, actually. So at this point, this is where you kind of start building the deck in your head. Right now, we're pretty committed to the Singleton Splash on red. So we've got we can run Spot Weakness. 1, 2, 3, 4 red cards, up to 7. So if we're going by the 8 roll, we need 1 more red card. I think I'm fine taking unsupervised Artillery and Blade of the Vigil. It's very close. I could cut the Blade for like one of the Pick-a-Fights or one of the other red cards. Red Mist Maul is solid here, and we're skipping blue. So these are just non-options.
You're obsessed with that item.
Well, I mean, there's nothing else in this pack, unfortunately. Riptide. So we're not disappointed we chose Magnus here, because it turns out there's just no other good heroes in this entire pack. Dude, this is a really bad draft.
Oh boy.
So
take the chance.
Basically, CM and Rix we're not playing. Right now we're running Mazzy, we're running Magnus, we're running Farvran, and we're probably going to run Debbie. We got to take the chance here. This pack is really good, actually. We've got Stonehall, D-Portal, Bronze Legionnaire, and even Hipfire. Of course, D-Portal doesn't fit with our plan, so we just can't run it. Dude, if we had like any quality of blue card at all, we would go for that easy. So it's definitely Stonehall Elite, very easily. And we are running 2 green heroes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're running 2 green heroes. We could run 2 Magnuses. This is a really good pack to take a hero on, and we need a good black hero as well. So one of the things you have to consider in draft is kind of like how broad of a net you're casting, right? And this is actually the reason why Tricolor is very good in draft, because you cast a broader net, right? So what I mean by this is like at this point in the draft, what are we looking for in this last hero, right? We're looking for a good black hero or a good green hero, right? Even a good red hero could kind of like, we could make this work as a 2 red, maybe. But we're looking at a good hero from one of 2 colors, and we're perfectly happy seeing either of those. At this point, I would probably rather decline the Magnus, because we've got a decent chance of finding something better from one of these 2 colors. If we take the Magnus, we're committing ourselves to running the Singleton Debbie.
You only have 11 creeps.
That's fine. You're just talking about like for Arm of the Rebellion?
Bronze Legionnaire as well.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not Magnus, I think it has to be Bronze Legionnaire. That also opens us up
You're
to...
actually considering Magnus.
Yeah. I mean, it's still an option. And even like Hipfire is there as potential. It's really close. Skipping Magnus is a little risky. I think we might have to take a bit of a risk here. Romeski is a great card. Iron Fog Goldmine is a great card. That's just an easy double pick.
Don't do it.
Yeah, this is getting awkward.
Don't worry. There's gonna be Lich. Lich will be there.
I would be very, very happy to see a Lich at the end. That would make my day. None of the rest of these we're even gonna play in our deck, no matter what, right? Okay, here we go. Second payday on second gold mine is something we're pretty happy to see, honestly. Are we running Stonehall over Apprentice? don't think so. Okay. One more pack. So we ended up with the Bronze Legionnaire here.
Wait, get a Whispers of the Madness just to appease the gods.
I would be happy at this point with a red hero. We've got enough red that we could go to red. What do you mean, ugh? That's fine.
That's like
That is not a.
That's pretty average.
That is okay for what we wanted. That is above average. That is distinctly above average. That could have been awful for us.
I would rather have Debbie than Necro.
That could have been really bad. I mean, we're probably running Debbie anyway, right? So we're looking at a hero lineup that looks kind of like this. Let's go ahead and put our main decks in first. So double Bronze Legionnaire. Spot weakness isn't bad as like a filler card. Just the fact that it cycles itself is totally fine. Put in like one spot weakness there. See how that goes. Defend the weak might be more like a 2 of. And then let's fill our black. So this is like a pretty average draft. We got offered some pretty awkward cards, but I think we kind of made the most out of a bad situation. I think this draft ended up pretty fine. Like, our, we have 2 basic heroes, but our card quality is actually pretty high. We've got, like double Bronze Legionnaire, Stone Holly. Our red cards are all amazing. We've got just like high. I think this is easily a fine draft. Like, it's a little unrefined. You wish you had more things to curve into with Payday. But I think we've probably got enough here. Double Blade of the Vigil, Traveler's Cloak. Could go for like a second red and a small, you don't mind that. Look, Event of this Carnage is probably not what you want to finish this off. The first thing to do is basically to add 4 health items, which is usually like 3 Traveler's Cloak and then just like whatever else you can find. We got the Stonehall Cloak easy there. We need one more item here to curve this out. It could just be something like a Keenfolk Musket or a Musk Blessings or Vestments. I think I favor the Vestments here. Okay, so now we've got to trim this deck down. We got 42 cards here. Let's go ahead and see what we're going to cut here, right? Our deploy order is going to matter. We need Mazzy coming out turn 1 because we want to open ourselves up to Bronze Legionnaire. We want to open ourselves up to kind of all of our turn 1 options. We've got turn 1 options in 3 different colors. So we want to basically display 3 color flop, right? So Mazzy, Debbie's a better flop than Necro, and then Farvan over Magnus, since Magnus just doesn't make it there. Then you look at your 4s, right? And you decide, okay, am I going to play the black hero Necro or the green hero Magnus? Because these are coming out at mana turn 4. So like, which color do you have here on the 4s? In this case, it's green by a wide margin because you have both Empower and Prowler Vanguard. And you're not really in a hurry to get Necrophos down. So I think this distribution probably makes a little more sense. Assuming Debbie doesn't die or anything like that. And now that we kind of know our hero orders, we can kind of like cut cards a little bit better. 2 cards to cut here. Divine Intervention is pretty great. Our top end is good. We could cut one of the Celemane's favors. It doesn't really do a lot here unless we draw either Ogre or Thunderhide pack. Of course, we already cut the second one. And we can just like naturally play into those. And then we could cut. What's the weak link here? I actually don't think I want to cut the spot weakness. It kind of looks like a useless card, but it's something to play with Mazzy, and it cycles itself. One of the kind of most awkward things in the early game is going to be basically not being able to play anything on the Mazzy lane. And spot weakness kind of circumvents that if you get it early. What is the weakest card here?
Defend the weak.
I like.
Okay.
It's okay. I do think I favor it over like some of these weaker units. Like for example, Untested Grunts maybe goes. We don't really have anything that scales with like unit presence in this case, except for like our 1 of Disciple. So it's gonna be like Grunt or Artillery. Artillery has more lane flexibility, whereas Grunt basically just has the like body buff potential. It is actually fine with something like Defend the Weak. I think I'll keep the grunt in this case, actually. Cut the artillery. So this looks pretty good. 9, 14, 17. We got the spot weakness, which is actually going to come in value. It looks like a really bad card, but with a 1 of red splash that stays alive, this is actually what we're going to want here. And everything about this deck is done. Let's go ahead and register this. SUNSFAN, how many wins are we getting with this deck?